armed and known to be dangerous, wanted reward, dead or alive. Tell me, Ezekiel, oh tell me, do you see male Jehovah coming to deliver me? Who thou calling in the ghosted air, 5 times calling to the hates in the air, shadow of a face in the scary leaves, shadow of a voice in the talking leaves. Come ride in my train. Oh, that train, ghost story train, over trestles of dew, through caves of the wish, midnight special on a saber track, movery, movery, first stop mercy and the last hallelujah. Come ride my train. Mean, mean, mean to be free. Right foot, left foot, along the road. Why don't you follow the drinking gourd up to the north and drop your load? Follow the drinking gourd. And of course, Harriet Tubman, following the drinking gourd, led our people to freedom. Old man Starks nicknamed me Jonah at the Harlem barber shop when I told him I believed the story of Jonah and the whale. Old man Starks, the atheist, wanted to know what Mrs. Jonah said when her old man stayed away all that time and returned with that ridiculous fish story. Well, I told old man Starks he missed the difference between a truth and a fact. I told old man Stark that I myself had been in the belly of a whale. So had he himself. So had every man, living or dead. So had every nation since the dawn of history. I have been in the belly of despair. I have been in the sunless bottoms of perplexities. Out of the troubled waters, my soul has cried, oh Lord, how long? Then came the light of day, the solution to the problem that vexed my spirit. Old man Starks nicknamed me Jonah at the Harlem barber shop. But I say, every man is a Jonah. The only democratic institution left in America is the common barber shop. There a man is a man for that. Now I admit, Emerson, he got the stranglehold on the old man in that story about Jonah and the whale. Emerson graduated in philosophy from Harvard. He's always quoted Santayana. My diploma comes from the University of Hard Knocks. I've studied nothing but Thomas Paine and the Book of Experience. The very next day, Emerson returned, and I pinned his shoulders to the mat when he tried to prove, quoting Shakespeare and the Ologies, that the nobility of man. Now, I told young Emerson this story. When I was a small boy in Iowa, my father had a 500-pound sow. He used to put enough slop in the trough for all the hogs. But that big strapping hog, that sow, she would drive all the others away. And then she would go into her belly and then lie down in the trough and go to sleep. Now, I told young Emerson, every hog thinks only of its own belly. And that starvation in a land of plenty proves that man is a hog. I have known futility, the desolate servitude of language, the vanity of trying to put into words the things I have felt. Aboard the Scorpion in the soggy midnight of the Sulu Sea, I saw a typhoon streak like a limited from hell and crash into our greasy freighter with a mountain of water. On an Ozark crag years and years ago, I heard the almost human whimper of a lost dog in the straining paws of a huge snake. In the Mississippi evening, on the veranda of an antebellum big house, I heard the stirring protest of an age-old work song drifting across a snowy ocean of cotton. On the California mountainside, with the tranquil stars as witness, I saw a blonde woman set fire to the oil-soaked victim whose crazed laughter was lost in the carnival shouts of the mob. I have known futility, the desolate certitude of language, the vanity of trying to put into words the things I have felt. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream to the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped, his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown and longed for still. And his tune is heard on a distant hill. The caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn-bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream, and his wings are clipped, and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill. When the caged bird sings of freedom. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Long way from home. A long way from home. Hold on to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. Now I vision God standing on the heights of heaven, throwing the devil like a burning torch over the gulf into the valleys of hell. His eye, the lightnings flash, his voice, the thunders roll. With one hand, he snatched the sun from its socket, the other he clapped across the moon. Now I vision God ring in storms from the heavens, rocking the world like an earthquake, blazing the sea with a trail of fire. His eye, the lightnings flash, his voice, the thunders roll. With one hand, he snatched the sun from its socket. With the other, he clapped across the moon. Now I vision God standing on a mountain of burnished gold, blowing his breath of silver clouds across the world. His eye, the lightnings flash, his voice, the thunders roll. With one hand, he snatched the sun from its socket. With the other, he clapped across the moon. Now you all have been over at Pentecost, and that means to be in the Spirit. Now we're going to talk about the woman that was taken from man. I take my text from Genesis 2 and 21. Behold the rear, now my beloved. Behold means to look and see. Look at this woman God done made. But first, I want to gaze upon God's precious works. Almighty and risen God, peace-giving and prayer-hearing God, high-riding and strong-armed God, walking across his globe creation with the blue elements for a helmet and a wall of fire around his feet. He wakes the sun every morning with his smile, and he commands the moon with his eyes. And oh, with the eye of faith, I can see him standing out on the eaves of ether, breathing clouds from his nostrils, blowing storms from between his lips. I can see him seize the mighty axe of his proven power and smite the stubborn stand in space and laid it wide open with a gash and made a place to hold the world. I can see him molding the world out of thought and power and whirling it out on its eternal track. And my strong-armed God, he set the blood-red eye of the sun in the sky, and he said, wait, wait, wait until Shiloh comes. I can see him molding the mighty mountains and melting the sky into seas. Oh, behold, and look and see. We see in the beginning, he made the beasts, every one after its kind, the birds to fly the trackless airs, the fish to swim the mighty deeps. Male and female made he him. Then he took the dust of earth and he made man in his own image. And man was alone, and even the lion had a mate. So God shook his head, and 1,000,000,000 diamonds, glittering crowns, studded the sky. And God put Adam into a deep sleep. And then he took out a rib. Behold the rib, a bone from man's side. And he put the man to sleep, and he made one man. Men and women have been sleeping together ever since. Behold the rib. Brothers, if God had taken the bone out of man's head, that would have meant for a woman to rule. If he had taken the bone from his foot, that would have meant for us to dominize and rule. He could have made her out of backbone. That would have placed her behind us. But no, God Almighty, he took the bone from out of his side. So that places woman beside us. God knows his own mind. Behold the rib. And now, I'll leave you with this thought. Let us all go marching up to the gates of glory. Tramp, tramp, tramp. In step with the host that John saw. Male and female, like God meant us to be, side by side. Oh, behold the rib. And let us all sit down in glory together, right around the throne of glory, and praise his name forevermore. Amen. I'd like to tell you a story about a man named John. Now, I call this man John because it was up around John's town that I seen him. I ain't even so sure he's one special fella. He's just a man I seen walking toward me on the road. He come up to me and he asked me which way the road went. Well, I tell him everything I knew about the road, which way it went and all. And he asked me if I had anything to eat. Said he ain't had nothing to eat for 3 days, and he hungry. Well, I'll never be out there on the road without an apple or orange or something to eat, a piece of fried meat. So I took and I give this fella an orange. Well, he took it in. And then he told me to come go along the road a little ways with it. That he had something he wanted to show me. Well, he had a look about him. Maybe he won't go with him. See what he's going to show me. Well, we walk along a bit, and it's getting kind of far from where I first seen him. When it come upon me, all of a sudden, that we ain't going back the way he come from, we're going back my way. Well, since he said he ain't know nothing about the road, I asked him about this. He said he got a voice inside him telling him which way to go. And if I come go along with him, he's going to show me how to find the secret life. Well, quite naturally, I followed him. Any fellow that's going to show you the secret life ain't to be taken lightly. Well, so we get near this bend in the road, and he tells me to hold out my hands. And he takes and rubs them together with his. And I look and I see they got blood on them. He tells me to take and rub it all over me, that it was a way of cleaning myself. Then we went round that bend in the road. Got round that bend and seemed like all of a sudden we ain't in the same place. Turned round that bend and looked like everything twice as big as it was. Trees and everything bigger than life. Sparrows as big as eagles. Well, I turned around to look at this fella, and he's got this light coming from him. He's shining like new money with that light. He's shining, shining. I had to cover up my eyes to keep from being blind. He's shining with that light. He just shined until it seemed like all the light seeped out. And he was gone. Leaving me by myself in that place where everything was bigger than life. Well, I wandered around there, trying to find my way back to the road. And I look over and I see my daddy standing there. Well, he was the same size he always was, except for his mouth and his hand. He had this great big old mouth. Looked like he took up his whole face. And his hands was as big as hands. Looked like they were too big to carry around. He called me over to him. Said he had been thinking about me, that it grieved him to see me in the world carrying other people's songs and not having one of my own. Said he was going to show me how to find my song. Then he carried me further into that big place till we come to this ocean. And then he showed me something there. I haven't got the words to tell you. But if you stand to witness it, you done seen something there. Well, I stayed a while in that place, and he showed me how to find my song. I asked him about the shining man, and he said he was the one who goes before and shows the way, that there was lots of shining men in the world. And if I ever met another one before I died, I could lay down and die a happy man. I would know that my song had been accepted and worked its full power in the world, on the way people cling to each other out of the truth they find in themselves. Then he showed me how to find my way back to the road, and I come out where everything was its own size, and I had my song. I had the binding song. I choose that song because that's what I see most when I was traveling. People walking away and leaving one another. So I takes the power of my song and I binds it together. Been binding people ever since. That's why they call me binder. Just like glue, I stitch people together. There's land. I've worked it with my hands. There are materials for every known and unknown need of man. There are houses built and more to build, calling on the Creator in each person. There are men and there are women. There are all the coming generations. There is life, but on land there are shadows not made from trees, and there are marks on materials not made from nature. On men and women there are ravages no animal could make. On children, brands. On life, a blight not put by God. Gargoyle shadows, finger marks, ghosts like us, a blight in an image recognized. I have seen myself, O man, that thy mass streaks the space between the sun and the earth, and strikes the air between thyself and myself. Driven by what the cosmos has put in me, let me then affirm to those the mazed who, like myself, have seen self-streaks, who too have felt the sear and would rather suffer it than pass it on. We are made to grow, and by growing, attain, rising in new birth to live in love. The brotherhood of man cannot be realized by stunted men, nor by those dismembered, closed in themselves, cut off from the mainstream, and therefore frustrated and bent to live in hate. Exiles can but gang against themselves and earth, suffering the wrong turn as it works it out with every stronger compulsion towards catastrophe. We who would transform X-I to I and move from outlaw to I am may know by sacred testimony there is a right turn, a struggle through purgatories of many names, arising to one's real being. Within one finds oneself linked with the real beings of other men and God. The kingdom exists, and it is to be entered. This seeming detour, meanwhile, leads us to a near highway, just beyond where all roads end. And along this, despite the powerlessness, the prowess of our planet, men and women can love one another, find their plot, build their world, live their life with unstreaked dignity, and lift a rainbow to the heavens. Unlock the races. Open this pod by outgrowing it. Free men from this prison and this shrinkage, not from the reality itself, but from our prejudices and preferences, and the enslaving behavior caused by them. Eliminate these. I am, we are simply of the human race. Uncase the nations. Open this pod by outgrowing it. Keep the real, but destroy the false. We are of the human nation. Uncase the regions, Occidental, Oriental, North, South. We are of earth. Free the sexes from the penalties and prescriptions that allegedly are laid on us because we are male or female. Unlock the classes. Emerge from these pockets. I am, we are simply of the human class. Expand the fields and the specialities, the limitations of occupations, the definitions of what we are that gain fractions and lose wholes. I am of the field of being. We are beings. Open the religions, the exclusive creeds, those type parodies of God's intention. There is a root religion, and we are of it, whose forces transforms, whose wave progressively reveals the shining terraces of our reality. Uncase, unpod, whatever blocks, until having realized pure consciousness of being, knowing that we are beings coexisting with others in an inherited universe, we will be free to use rightly with reason our own and other human functions. Free men, whole men, connected with one another and with deity. close with Langston Hughes' words that I think, in a sense, I feel are directed to all of us as Baha'is in this day and age, especially at this time. Okay, this is very personal. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plain, seeking a home where he himself is free. America never was America to me. Let America be the dream, the dreamer dream. Let it be that great, strong land of love, where never kings connive, nor tyrants scheme, that any man be crushed by one above. It never was America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic greed, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is the air we breathe. There never has been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. Say, who are you that mumbles in the dark? And who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek and finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I am the young man full of the strength and hope, tangled in that ancient endless chain of profit, power, gain, of grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the ways of satisfying need, of work the men, of take the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. I am the farmer, bondsman to the soil. I am the worker, sold to the machine. I am the Negro, servant to you all. I am the people, worried, hungry, mean, hungry yet today despite the dream. Beaten yet today, old pioneers. I am the man who never got ahead, the poorest worker, battered through the years. Yet, I am the one who dreamt our basic dream in that old world while still a serf of kings, who dreamt the dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet its mighty daring sings in every brick and stone, in every furrowed turn that made America the land it has become. Oh, I am the man who sailed those early seas in search of what I meant to be my home. For I am the one who left dark island shore, and Poland's plain, and England's grassy lea, and torn from black Africa's strand, I came to build a homeland of the free. The free? A dream still beckoning to me. Oh, let America be America again. The land that never has yet been, and yet must be. The land where every man is free. The land that's mine, the poor man's, Indians, Negroes, me, who made America, whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the furrow, whose plow in the rain, must bring back our mighty dream again. Sure, call me any ugly name you choose. The steel of freedom does not stain. From those who live like leeches on the people's lives, we must take back our land, America. Oh yes, I say it plain. America never was America to me. And yet, I swear this oath, America will be an ever-living seed. Its dream lies deep in the heart of it. We the people must redeem our land, the mines, the plants, the rivers, the mountains, and the endless plain, all the stretch of this great green state, and make America again. just briefly, if you know it, I'd like to end with that. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Thank you.
Touch me, illumine the lamp of my heart. Make me a brilliant star, from the mighty and the powerful.
Create in me a pure heart, O my God, and renew a cheerful conscience within me, O my hope. The spirit of power confirm thou me in thy cause, O my best beloved, and with the light of thy glory, reveal unto me thy path, O thou the goal of my desire. Through the power of thy transcendent might, lift me up unto the heaven of thy holiness, O source of my being, and by the breezes of thine eternity, gladden me, O thou who art my God. Let thine everlasting melodies breathe tranquility on me, O my companion, and let the riches of thine ancient countenance deliver me from all except thee, O my Master. And let the tidings of the revelation of thine incorruptible essence bring me joy, O thou who art the most manifest of the manifest, and the most hidden of the hidden.
O Son of Being, love me that I may love thee. If thou lovest me not, my love can aim enough, no wise to reach thee. No, it is so soon.
My God, my adored one, my King, my desire. What tongue can voice my thanks to thee? I was heedless. Thou didst awaken me. I had turned back from thee. Thou didst graciously aid me to turn toward thee. I was as one dead. Thou didst quicken me with the water of life. I was withered. Thou didst revive me with the heavenly stream of thine utterance, which hath flowed forth from the pen of the All-Merciful. O divine providence,
All existence is begotten by thy bounty. Deprive it not of the waters of thy generosity, neither do thou withhold it from the ocean of thy mercy. I beseech thee to aid and assist me at all times and under all conditions, and seek from the heaven of thy grace thine ancient faith. Thou art in truth the Lord of bounty and the sovereign of the kingdom of eternity. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn through the storm, through the night. Lead me on to the light. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me home. When the darkness appears, precious Lord,